it's Shawnee. Welcome back. I figured I would like shop my stash, use what I have, and do some looks with my Mcgrath Mothership VII, the first Divine Rose. Now it's interesting because I think people have ended up saying like Divine Rose 1, Divine Rose 2, but this was just called Divine Rose if I'm not mistaken. I think the other one is called Divine Rose 2. Whatever. And then I think too much. I was like, do we really want to call it shop your set? Because when you shopping, when I think of shopping, I'm spending money, but I guess I already spent the money anyway. Yeah, so I figured I would just play around with my Mothership palettes and start with the Divine Rose because this is one of my favorites. I did not purchase this when it came out. I purchased it at some later time because initially I was like, this is boring, but I really, really enjoy this palette. It is one that I use for like softer looks, especially if it's like a work thing and I want something just like office friendly, soft, pretty, but you know, a little bit of sparkle, right? So also, what I tend to do oftentimes is when I look at a palette, I try to put things into like quads or 3 shades or 2 shades or whatever. So I think that that can make it easier to figure out looks that you want to do. Let me know. But like when I look at this, I can think, oh, this is a good quad. This, and then I can add these special shades on top of anything, right? So I'm gonna try to follow that. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I just pick colors, but when a palette is like bigger or I want to do something different, then I'll kind of focus on like separating the palette into almost like different palettes, you know? Oh, the tag is itching me. I will use a primer that has maybe some pigment closer to my skin tone. So I think it will be this one from Colored Rain called Desert Sand. I think also I will maybe use some of my natural hair brushes. So the natural hair brushes I have are primarily Sonia G, and then I have some Refer brushes. My Sonia G brushes, like this, I treat them like they are, you know, I don't know, special. I feel like I'm okay with putting my Refer brushes through the ringer a little bit more, just because they're like more affordable, more affordable, what are the words I'm saying? I don't know. More affordable natural hair brushes. And for me, when I'm wanting like more intense color, that's when I will use my synthetic brushes. I feel like natural hair brushes give you like a softer look, and honestly, you don't have to use natural hair brushes, but because there are some synthetic hair brushes that I love. Now, and also natural hair brushes, you should not wash them super often. Not that you want them to get dirty and janky, but since it's like natural hair, you don't need to wash them super often because that'll dry them out. So I will like use my synthetic hair brushes until I can't use them anymore. But my natural hair brushes, I try to be a bit more gentler with them. So this is a Sonia G brush. This is the Worker. Now I have a couple of sets or a couple of brushes from various sets that she has. I haven't gotten the last bunches that she's released because I'm like, Sonia, I don't need no more brushes, okay? All right. Okay, so that was the eyeshadow base from Colored Rain in the shade Desert Sand. Now, following the quad idea, Now I'm like, maybe I don't want to follow that. Yeah, I will, but I'm going to use this shade here. And now, a lot of times with the Pat McGrath, like, shimmers or special shades, I will use my finger. I'm fine using my finger for eyeshadow and stuff, but if you are not, that's, like, listen, do your eyeshadow and do rosé. Whatever I was saying. Now let me go back over that. So, I think as I'm looking at the palette and thinking of, do I want to do the quad thing or not? I'm also going to pull this out so I can tell you what shades I'm using. So maybe I should use this shade here, and this is VR Rose Venus. And maybe this one as well, and that is Rose Dusk. And now that I've said, like, oh, I like to use quads, now I'm like, do I really want to use quads? Anyway, also for the special shades and the shimmers in her palettes, I tend to like to use my fingers. And if you don't like using your fingers, by all means, don't use them. You can't use mine, but use whatever you want to. Again, the type of tool you use probably is going to affect the look. I find when I use my finger, I can like pack on a lot more. I get more opacity. Oftentimes when I use a brush, especially a natural hair brush, it's just more of like a wash of color. So I'm going to see how far I can go with my finger, just because I'm not going to poke myself in the eye, hopefully, with these nails. And yeah. Okay. Child, so I was watching stuff on YouTube. You know when you just get like sucked into the vortex of things? So I don't know how I ended up watching this channel. I think it's called Love Doesn't Judge or Love Does Not Judge. I don't know. But the premise is that they feature different relationships where people are like basically judged on their relationship, like who they're dating. So there were some about people talking about being in interracial relationships. There's some where folks are like, it's like a 40-year difference in terms of age, or a lot around like, queer relationships. So I just got pulled right in. And do y'all remember that story about the couple where the wife was breastfeeding her husband? That was on there. Child. What do I say, Erica? If you like it, I love it. Anyway, so there was one on there. This one, like the title was I Got Over His Weight or something like that. So they start showing the video, and it's a woman who is rather thin, and a man who is in, like, he's in a larger body, right? Both of them are attractive people, but only one of them has an attractive personality. So apparently these two started out as friends, right? And homegirl was like, I didn't even look at him like that because of his weight. He's just so big. And then I guess they were friends, and she was like, but then I realized, like, he really liked me. And then, you know, at first I was like, oh, I don't want to date him because of his weight. But then I was able to look past that. I don't need you to look past nothing for me, okay? Don't do it. Like, if you don't want me at first, I don't want you at second. Like, and he's like sitting there with just the sweetest smile, and I'm sitting here like, babes, she is insulting you in front of your face. In front of your face. And here's the kicker, if that wasn't enough. How she introduces the relationship. She said that they are in a mixed weight relationship. That's not a thing. In my opinion, that's not a mixed weight relationship. Oh, hi, babe. Yay. Anyways, because aren't we all in mixed weight relationships? Who? Let me know. Hold on. What you saying, babe? Okay, listen. Let me put this on. Did I just... Isn't everybody in a mixed weight relationship? I personally, and professionally, I guess, I don't know anybody who is in a relationship that is the same weight as the other person. I've never in my life heard of mixed weight relationship. Like, we gonna start with all kinds of other things too? Mixed eye color, mixed hair follicles, mixed teeth. I don't know. But I'm like, it's not that serious, okay? Y'all don't need to be coming up in here talking about you in a mixed weight relationship. I ain't never heard that. And you know what? Maybe it's just not for me to know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not meant to understand it, which is fine. That's totally fine, y'all. Maybe I'm just, it's not my ministry, and I get it. And if you are in a mixed weight relationship and it's part of your identity, I apologize for being judgmental. Because the channel is like Love Doesn't Judge. But I feel like she the one that's judging. I'm not judging their relationship. I'm judging her. I'm judging her. And the other thing that gets me... Okay, I'm going to go in with this shade. The other thing that gets me is how bold people are. Like, listen, this is my opinion, and you know what I can do with it? I can keep it to myself and y'all. Because people have nerve to just be like, oh, she needs to be with somebody else. Like, oh, how he get her? I'm skinny and I don't have nobody. And he's so big. Why you with him? I'm sorry. I'm just wondering why you inside their relationship. Because they decided that it's only going to be 2 people in there and you're not invited. That just made me real upset because, oh God, for so many reasons. First of all, the fat phobia that runs rampant in our society. The idea that someone doesn't deserve to be in a happy, healthy relationship. I can't say what is happy or healthy because, like I said, if it were me, I don't need you to get over nothing. I don't need you to get over, like... Now, you either gonna like it or you not. You either gonna like it or you not. Now, I do have my own insecurities, but what I'm going to tell you is that I have forever known that I'm a catch. Despite the craziness, just the complications of who I am, y'all have to get over nothing, okay? Needless to say, I'm judging her because it's giving a little shallow. It's like a little, like, mean or like how rude. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. Give me your perspective on mixed weight relationships. And let me know if I'm being foolish. You know, I don't practice judging others, but I just can't help this one. Judge. I'm being a judge and jury on this one. Make no daggone sense. You are so big, bad, and bold to sit next to me and talk about, and then I got over his weight. Girl, I'm gonna get over you and leave. Alright? Having this man, oh, I'm using this shade now. I'm not even within the quad thing. I'm sorry about that. Girl, I'm so through. She talking about he got over his weight. Something you gotta get over is like something else. Not that though. Okay? Okay, let me go ahead and put my foundation and stuff on. I show how I did that in the previous video. So I'll like do that off camera, or I'll just leave it in and speed through. So here's the first look, and I say first because apparently there's going to be another one. For the lips, I used the Pat McGrath gloss in Prima Donna. And to set my under eyes, I used the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish blurring under eye powder, and I typically get it in either the shade Deep or Yellow, and right now I'm using the shade Deep. I have panned like 2 or maybe 3 of these. I think well, it might be more than 3, because I've panned yellows and deeps, so I don't even know. And I think the next one, yeah, the one that I have after I finish this one is going to be the yellow one. So kind of go between both. So I'm going to take this off, and I guess I'll do another look. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what shades I will use this time. So I used these 2 and this one. I think I also used a bit of the mattes, right? Yeah. So, since I kind of stayed on that side, maybe I'll stay more over here. Yeah, let's use like these 2 shimmers to maybe get like a deeper look. Alright. Going to go in with that same primer because I think it looked good sort of close to my skin tone, because I don't want anything too bright to kind of take away from the look of the shadow. Let me do one more look after this. So I think some of y'all probably have kids that are Gen Z, right? But it's like 97 to 2012. Is that when they were born? Let me check. Yeah, 97 to 2012. So my niece is Gen Z. So, y'all, I mean, okay. I think every generation says something like kids these days. I know I do, okay? Did you know you were going to be like one of those people that's like, well, when I was younger, I had no idea. I didn't know I was going to be one of those. I had to walk to school uphill both ways, no shoes, no jacket, like in the snow carrying my brother. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know I was going to be one of those people, but I completely am. And I, for real, have been like, I don't know what these kids be talking about these days. I don't know what these kids be listening to. I didn't know I was going to be that person, but I'm just going to embrace it. Now, the latest, I try to stay up on the lingo, okay? And partly because I have very many clients who are Gen Z, like my college kids. And sometimes I'm like, child, I don't know what that means. And I've had a couple have been like, oh my God, Dr. D, I can't believe you don't know. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Y'all don't know what a fax machine is. How about that? Or how to use a rotary phone, or how to tell time. Anyway, so, I like to kind of get an understanding of some of their slang and lingo, right? Because some of it is used in very different ways, in my opinion, than it used to be. I had this long conversation with my niece about the term vibes, because she's like, you're just not feeling the vibes right now. And I was like, girl, if you don't get out of my face. So I was reading, I saw this come across, I don't know, a timeline, or I was reading something and I was like, huh? And it is this idea that these young folk are doing, and it's called raw dogging. Now, if you are like millennial and above, this means something very different to you, right? For me, this cat is so nosy. For me, it's you having some sort of sexual encounter without protection. That's not it for Gen Z. For go ahead and look it up. Gen Z, they use that term to describe taking a plane or something without any sort of entertainment, like earbuds or a book, water. And I'm like, y'all just refuse to have sense. You do. I'm not other generations. We have refused many a time as well. But this is unsafe. Like, I don't think they understand. And it's like they're doing it for the gram. You know, like... I mean, can we say thrombosis? Like, this is such a bad idea. They just literally sit there. It's not smart. It's just not a good decision. And I tell you, if I saw somebody doing that on a flight, if they were, I would ask to be moved. Okay? I'm not going to participate in this. I'm not going to participate in this foolishness. No, I'm not going to watch you get sick. Okay? Because you're not going to have any fluids. You just going to sit. Okay. I don't need to know anyone who plans to do that. No, don't involve me in those shenanigans. And everyone knows I love a good shenan, but don't involve me in this. Alright, I'm going to go with this shade here. Because when I saw the title, I was like, do I really want to read this? And then when I realized it is not what I was thinking, I was like, y'all, come on. I always like to tell people, Earth is some other planet's hell. They're like, we're gonna send you up over to Earth. Keep playing. And that's what, stuff like this, I'm like, yeah, I get it. That's why. Speaking of Earth, did you hear about those 2 astronauts on the Starliner, I think it is, from Boeing? They stuck up in space. They've been there for, I think, since like June. And so NASA is trying to figure out how we gonna get these jokers back. Because I think something happened, like the throttles, something happened where the vehicle that they have been traveling on, it don't work no more. So it seems like just recently, NASA decided that they're gonna use SpaceX to get the folks back rather than Boeing. So Boeing's kind of pissed. But Boeing, y'all kind of slipping up lately, right? Okay, I'm going to go into this shade here. So Boeing's kind of upset about it. But I could get it. I get it. Like, it's like, this is not something we need you to, like, mess up on. Like, these people are literally in the atmosphere. No, we ain't gonna use you no more, okay? Fool me once. That's it. So, they are gonna send, I think, some other folks up in September, like September 24th, I believe. And what they're gonna do is they're taking suits, and they have room to bring the 2 astronauts up there. Excuse me, astronauts up there that are stuck. But they're not going to get back to like February. They're not going to get back to until February. And I don't know, y'all. I think I would be up there like, oh, God. How much longer are we going to be here? And there are pictures of them like smiling. I would not have a smile on my face. I would be so upset. Like, I know y'all ain't got me up here. I can't get back to Earth because Boeing done messed up. Cutting corners. Child. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna head back over here and use this shade. I mean, can they retire after that? Like, I'm not going on no more trips. I'm not gonna do it. Like, leave me be. They about to spend like 8 months up in space. What do you do? What do you do with your time? How do you entertain? They gotta be raw dogging it up there. How do you entertain yourself? Can you get like satellite TV? Like, literally, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And it's not like they could send you They can't send you like a sandwich. They can't post, you know, an audiobook. Like, and I wonder, do they prepare for that? Do they prepare for potentially having, they have to, right? Potentially getting stuck. But how long do they prepare for? Yeah. So it's like you got to download like 365 days worth of audiobooks. Like, oh God, imagine you having like your period and stuff in space. Does it still happen with like the barometric? I don't know. And then you gotta, it's not like it's a king size suite at the Marriott. Like, I imagine you're sharing this small space with this, hopefully y'all like each other, and I hope everybody is staying on top of their hygiene. I feel like there's so much that goes into it. Like, down here on Earth, we're just thinking about like, oh man, I wonder how we're gonna get them down. I would be like, listen, like, if y'all don't hurry up. I cannot imagine. You know, they're probably gonna need, they're probably gonna need, first of all, they're gonna need probably some sort of psychological assistance, but then what happens to your body if you're all up in outer space for 8 months? I guess it's good that they're just not like floating around, right? But I'm curious. I'm super curious. I don't even think I'm going to use a matte, but I am going to go in with this Skin Show Nude shade and use it as a bit of a highlight up there. Brush. Find a brush. That's so crazy. What a story they're going to have to tell. But it's also like, dang, what if you got like a partner and kids and stuff, and they're just like, where's mommy? Where's daddy? Child, they up in space. Like, when they gonna come back? Like sometime next year. I don't know. I don't, like, do they get some sort of compensation for that? Like, can they retire now? That just seems, I wouldn't volunteer for the next one. And it seems like these two astronauts have actually, they've done like testing out like vehicles and such before. I don't know. I don't know that I would be like, I would want to be the crash test dummy for this. Like, we don't know how it's gonna work, but we just need y'all. Whose turn is it? Okay, y'all gonna go on this Boeing little thing. They were only supposed to be there for 8 days. Oh my God, is it like just reliving the same day over and over and over again? I can't imagine. I can't imagine, okay? I cannot. All right, I'm gonna like clean up stuff and I come back and maybe do one more look. Okay, so here is look number 2 with a bit of a nude lip. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'll do one more look. I think I haven't used maybe one of the special shade, 2 of them. Okay, I have an idea. All right, so one more to go, and then I will wrap everything up. So one more look. Just gonna go ahead and get started again with the primer. Okay, I definitely have like a lot of shimmer on my face, which I don't think is that uncommon with pets, like special shades and such. And the one I'm going to use, or one of them that I'm going to use, is like super chunky, so I have a feeling that will be all over my face and I'll have to clean it up. Okay, so do you put things back as you go with doing your makeup? I'm trying to be more on top of doing that instead of just having everything everywhere. Okay. So I am going to start with this shade here because I want to have some depth. Let me also tell you about Veronica in Minnesota. Let me read you her charges. She has been charged, she's been arrested for second-degree assault, criminal vehicular operation, bodily harm, gross negligence, and domestic assault. You're like, what? I was like, what? Too. So apparently Veronica, and do they name? No, they don't name her partner, which makes sense. Veronica and her boyfriend have been dating for a year, and they decided that they were going to go to couples therapy. Doesn't say why. You know, sometimes people are like, it's only been a year, why are you going to couples therapy? Now, it kind of doesn't matter how long you've been together, because couples therapy isn't always because something terrible is going on. Like, it could be that you want to learn how to better communicate to one another, you know, things like that. I provide couples therapy. It's not my favorite thing to do. Yeah, couples are hard. Yeah, not my fave. I actually kind of want to do more. I think I just psych myself out and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to do it. I have done it. I will say that part of it is that when I first started providing couples therapy when I was in training, all my couples broke up. I had to realize couples therapy doesn't mean that you're going to stay together. But I'm like, for real, I'm the common denominator. All right, so I think what I will do is go in with this shade here. I'm going to put that right in the middle. So yeah, so Veronica and her boyfriend are going to couples therapy. It doesn't say why. Do we really need to know? Not really. Hopefully they and the therapist know. It's really important to be on the same page with your partner when you're going to couples therapy, or else just like don't come. So Veronica and her boyfriend had an argument the morning that they were going to couples therapy. So Veronica's driving them to the therapist's office. And as they're on their way, her boyfriend decides that he wants to end the relationship immediately. Inmediatamente. He wants to end the relationship. So Veronica pulls over and is like, get up out of my car then, you know? Because they hadn't even made it to the therapist's office. This was like on the way. So he gets out of the car and he's walking across the street. I don't know how he's about to get home, maybe an Uber. And the article says that they lock eyes and Veronica steps on the gas and knocks this man over into her windshield. He's okay. He just like lacerated his elbow. But, you know, police gets called. And she admitted that she bumped him. She hit him with her vehicle. But at some point she stopped and called the police, but she didn't like stop right away. She also said that it like the damage to her car wasn't from the impact of his body, but rather that he punched the windshield like before he got out or something. And I'm just sitting here like, so y'all not gonna make the appointment? So this is an individual session now. Okay. Yeah. Like, here's the thing. Veronica was wrong. But I can understand wanting somebody to get out your presence immediately. You know? Like, long ago. Like, you know, a couple years. My family would laugh because if something was going on and usually someone I was dating is in my house and I want them to go, I would open the door and ask them to leave. And my family's like, you can't do that. I'm like, guess who's paying the bills? guess who's paying the bills? So if I ask you to vacate the premises, then like do it, or else you're trespassing. So I kind of get where Veronica was coming from. I just don't think she executed it well. She should have just told him to get out of her car and then gone about her business. Maybe gone to the session and like had a space to process things. But you gonna lock eyes with the man and then run him over. Veronica, I mean, girl. Also, I'm just saying, he could have said before we were on our way to counseling. You could have said you knew this. Yeah, I don't know why you got up in the car and like made me look like a fool. You could have just been like, you know, babe, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to go to that session because I don't want to do this no more. But no. You had me drive halfway there, and then talking about you don't want to do this? Get out of my car. I understand. I probably would have put him out the car too. Props. I probably would have put him out the car. Okay. I'm also going to go in with this shade here. This is the like chunky one, but it's the one that I haven't used. So let's see how that changes things. I feel like it gives it. So this is with that special shade, and this is without. Oh, I definitely see a difference with the special shade, without the special shade. So I'm just gonna pop that on here so we can have it match. And I am going to fix everything and then come back and wrap it all up. So here is the final look. I think I managed to use every shade in the palette, pretty sure. Again, this is the Divine Rose palette, Mothership VII from Mcgrath Labs. And that is it. So I hope that some of this was helpful. I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. A reminder for all of us. Let me know what you think of these stories that I shared with you. Let me know if you have this palette. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.